line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
We are now live under the night lights and skies here in Joliet, Illinois, where it lies in the Chicagoland Speedway, and today's action showcasing of the Pit Stall Summer Series and their trucks division live here on the show. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader Chris Stroud, joining you guys here today right on the track of the 1.5 mile long bean-shaped oval design configuration of Chicagoland Speedway. It is time to set sail and set on our way to feel the power and feel the drive these men and women will bring to the table on a track that is just bent on showcasing the best and brightest of racing at its best corners and toughest drives. Here at Joliet, Illinois, here a solid lineup of drivers have come to us so far. 18 have clocked in so far with the field. Still a couple minutes remaining of practice, so let's take a look at that track tech talk before we get any further with that, of course. Here at Forward Screen Printing's track tech talk for the evening, Chicagoland Speedway. I said bean shape in configuration because, well, I mean, the track itself, it's almost about as close to from an oval to a circle you can get. This is not a track for the faint of heart, and this is not a track that is going to be letting too many people out on their shot markers here. They're going to have to be very, very careful on how they hit each corner and how they rip around the track. Drafting very prominent out of the start of these races and out of the start of these battles. You'll see a lot of that and then some from everyone out on the track that's going to go for broke and stay with it here. So right now, as we currently get everyone set up on the track and set up into the field, it's time to take a listen to our drivers right now here. The first one up on the list here joins me here in the number 84 camp. Ladies and gentlemen, Len McNeese now on the line. And Len, right now, currently been fighting hard in the top 5, top 10s all season round. But this is a track that seems to be kind of playing to your style, which is that short pace versus the middle pace run of the tracks.
This one, I hope so. This, I mean, I can already tell the right front tire is going to be another one of these nights for the issues to slow down again.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, slowing down is definitely going to be a bit of a troublesome little spot for some of these guys because this track, I mean, it's all about building speed, building momentum, and run. I mean, how difficult, though, is it to kind of keep that run and defend it off at the same time?
That's what's going to be difficult, trying to keep the speed up on it and still trying to save the tires and making it last. And so I guess it's just going to be pacing it and trying to get the tires in the right time to save a set maybe at the end.
For sure there. All right, well, Len, we do really appreciate you coming on board, giving some ideas on this track here today. Here, our best wishes of luck to you and the crew.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Number 84, ladies and gentlemen, Len McNeese getting ready to get it on down and fire it up onto the track here. One of the guys that's looking to make a big name on himself after a huge win last time out. Ladies and gentlemen, number 47, Dustin Franklin.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, going pretty good, my friend. You're a man to talk about a drive you had to make from South Carolina just to get here to Illinois. But, man, last time out, you had a drive in its own right there at Nashville Super Speedway, coming out on top after a little bit of that racing and right down to the end. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, just trying to get down here in Chicago, a little up north, a little bit cooler at night, and hopefully we have a good showing tonight as well.
A good showing as well here, and I'm going to ask you this too. With what I said earlier at the beginning of the show, I said this drafting is going to be a very big thing off the starts. What do you think is going to probably be the spot in before it starts to fade off?
I mean, you need to stay out the bottom in the first few laps. You know, you want to run up middle, and, you know, when you got a pass, you can dig on the bottom, but people are probably hanging out in the middle up top most of the night trying to save those valuable tires, and we'll all be getting that fuel we need.
Certainly will indeed here, Dustin. We'll never let go. I appreciate your time, sir, and best of luck.
Appreciate you. Have a great night.
You sure. Ladies and gentlemen, Dustin Franklin representing for his team there, Fort Worth Screen Printing. Another guy looking to make a big name on his end of the track. He currently is our second place man of the hour, the power. It's the 03, Cody Griffin. Yeah, if he's got his qualifying time here, practice line up and running, I don't know if Griffin's ready to talk with us yet. Cody, you got a copy down there, buddy? Nope, looks like he's not in the trailer right now or in the truck, so we're going to have to let him be for now. We'll get a few other guys here to chat with here in a minute. Don't go anywhere, race fans. All right, I think we got... Oh, hold on a minute. I think producers, you're not helping me here. I told you guys to pick a driver out there, not do this to me. Okay, I think we got Mikey on the show here. Let's see who we got. We got Mikey on the show. Who do we got here?
Say what?
Yeah, which Michael do we got on the track here in their call here, sir?
Campbell?
Yeah, Campbell. Oh, okay. We got you on the screen here too. That makes it easier. So, Campbell, how's it going tonight, sir?
Doing good.
All right. Sorry for the confusion there. Our little voice channel switch-a-majig, or whatever you want to call it, did not quite pop up with your name on here, but at least now we can figure out who you are there.
Oh, okay, for.
So, Michael, I got to ask you real quick here. As you bring this 292 out onto the track here, you've had a little bit of bad luck when it comes to drivers getting a little bit crazy and a little bit out on the verge here. But with this 292 here, does this track kind of give you guys a little more confidence knowing that it's going to be a lot more fast-paced and a little bit more of a turning end rather than having to avoid the cautions and wreck fests here?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Conditions feel really good. I'm comfortable anyways.
That's definitely something you need to be fast and to be good here. So, Michael, as you get ready to go, best of luck down there, my friend.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too. Michael Campbell, ladies and gentlemen, there on the line. Time to bring in one of the other cats here that know how to put up a fight and put on a run. Representing in the number 24 camp, it is Tim Lee to the show.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing all right, my friend. Here now is currently we got your radar right now up in the 12th spot here in practice session. Are you kind of just hanging back a little bit, laying low to let these guys get a false sense of confidence?
I wish. No, I think all those fast times are probably draft times. But this is I really like this track. It's always been a good track. It's treated me well. The setup's really good here. It's going to be strategy, obviously, tonight. Going to have a pretty good field, so I'm looking forward to it.
A pretty good field indeed here. Now, I got to ask you as well with the way we've seen everyone talk about it all the time, which is the starts and the restarts here and how crazy those can get. But really, this track can honestly keep those starts really in the same position, the same area until someone wants to try to make the big moves. For your circumstances, when do you think it'll be the right time to start making those big moves?
I don't know. Obviously, depending on strategy, what you're going to see a lot of people saving tonight is 65% fuel. So I added a little bit more to give us a little bit more strategy to play with. So an additional 2 sets, it lines up pretty close to about 27 to 29 laps. So it's going to be interesting strategy, but I expect most guys to kind of, hang back a little bit and conserve for the first 50.
For sure there. All right, well, Tim, we really appreciate coming on board here today, bud. Best of luck down there.
Thanks, Chris.
The mad scientist himself, Tim Lee, on the call, ladies and gentlemen, having a little chit-chat with us. As the rest of your field currently stretches the track out and stretches onto the field. We talked with one of the guys of the Fort Worth Screen Printing side. Well, let's talk with another one here. Representing in the number 66 Fort Worth Screen Printing, it is the 66, John Garrett. Garrett, do you have the line down there, sir?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, there he goes. There he is. All right. Hey, Garrett, right now, currently third in position here and really making some big runs, some big moves here in that Dead Parrot Fort Worth Screen Printing 66. How is the truck feeling and how's the way the truck kind of centering off on these short versus these long runs for you so far?
Oh, yeah, it's doing good. I just luckily caught a draft there behind Derek and pulled off a good lap. It's just, it'll be about, getting runs and drafts with people. And saving a little tire in the meantime and stay out of trouble. It kind of reminds me of the New Atlanta just a little bit.
It certainly seems to be the case here. With actually, New Atlanta does kind of bring into a good point here. This track obviously has a little bit of wear and tear on the surface versus what New Atlanta Super Speedway, I guess you could say, has got. How much of the track do you feel on the rumble strips and the bumps do you think kind of kick up on these trucks?
Yeah, you can definitely feel the bumps at certain parts of the track, and it'll upset the truck. So, if we're going to be sitting there running in a group, it may cause some issues.
Certainly indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, John, obviously know a thing or two about handling with these groups and handling with these guys today. So best of luck to you and the 66 crew.
All right, appreciate it.
Going first one today here at Chicagoland Speedway, ladies and gentlemen, John Garrett on the line. Got a few minutes still to talk with a few other guys here. I think it's about time, though, we hear from an old friend of ours that likes to have a little fun and kind of mess around with us on the show once in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, representing the number 34, Doug Wysocki. Dougie, you got a copy down there, buddy? Oh, it appears not here, so it looks like actually he'll be one of our other guys in the truck lineup that does not have their radios on and not ready to go for the call. Well, we have time to bring in one more driver for now anyway. Let's see if we can hear it up from the driver that pilots in the number 45. Ladies and gentlemen, from Canada's own, it is Tim Williams. Tim, do you have the copy down there, sir?
How you doing?
Oh, there he is. He's a little delayed there.
No problem. I pushed the wrong button.
I was wondering what was up down there. So right now, top 5 and only about 0.14 of a second off of the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn's time in the 21. But nevertheless here, this 45 has been pretty fast and pretty considerate. But it seems as though as of late on the show, it hasn't been able to branch out and survive past the tire wear and the fuel burn. Now here at Chicagoland Speedway, how much of a difference can this place make for you in that circumstance?
Well, I think it waits to be seen. I don't know. I'm trying to get it to equal, but it's going to be a tough track to win. I know that.
Tough track to win, and certainly one a lot of people had crossed on their list here today. But nevertheless, though, is there really any big things you're going to try to use up on these guys, or just kind of try to play it safe, you think?
I think I'm just going to knock them off the track and get them out of my way.
Well, that's one way to do it around here. So, well, I mean, as long as I don't deal slide job around here, I think we're good to go here there, my friend. But nevertheless, best of luck to you and this crew.
Thank you very much, sir. We'll talk to you later on.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Williams piloting the number 45 here today. All right, race fans, time has come and the time is now. We are set to go on the action grid. Let's kick it down to qualify here at Chicagoland. The first one out of the gate, Robert Kahn will fire him off on the 21, the Freightliner machine. Remember, he's the guy everyone wants to knock off that list after his win 2 weeks ago. And after an almost complete 180 win there, he got at Nashville Super Speedway. Fell short due to a massive wreck that cost him that one. You may have seen it actually, the aftermath on our little thumbnail on YouTube. If you guys haven't already subscribed there and checked that out. But it was Dustin Franklin, the 47 Fort Worth screen printing that managed to knock him off that list. We'll see if he can do it again. Chantal Bottle, the butt kicker Chevrolet Silverado lighting wraps machine coming out as well to put up a fight, put on a little battle for her crew as well as her team. Family and friends watching her on. Michael A. Campbell looking to get back at it here. Had so many opportunities, so many missed chances here. Wants to try to prove something as he's only about 33/100ths of a second off of the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn on the first lap here. But only about 100th of a second off of Derek Paulson. And Kahn, his lap not going to count here. The Freightliner 21 is in the wall protection, slamming it, costing him a lap. That will open the door for the other drivers to take a chance here and take an opportunity to steal this one from him. Brandon Met for the 83 is now back on the show. Tim Williams coming up in a fight, putting up a good run. Derek Paulson, though, oh my word. That is 1,000th of a second difference for Paulson and Kahn. And Paulson just barely knocked off the hatchet by Kahn. Brandon Met making a return to the show here. Good to see him back after his stints with the iRacing iRock Challenge Series. We'll have to listen in with him in just a little bit and see how he's doing and what his game plan is here today. And Tim Williams said earlier he was going to go for broke, go for big. He does indeed. The 45 sets the fastest time. He has a #1 spot so far. But will it stand? Eric Blount, the number 6 right now, trying to lay down a good time here. Looking for a good run off on the track. Keeping it close to the hand, close to the heart. Trying to run the extreme bottom lane. That's exactly where you want to be if you want to get that kind of speed, that kind of power to match with it. Time to beat Tim Williams here. And his time puts him in the 5th slot. Not quite able to knock down the 30.78. Oh, and speaking of that, 30.77, Cody Griffin. The pit stall 03 machine takes that one away from him. That's a big deal. That's going to be a big time set in stone. We'll see if it holds. Todd Poston trying to lay down his fastest lap in the 6th Toyota Tundra machine now as he comes out for a little surface rain. John Garrett still yet to qualify. Neither has Michael Taylor or Jeffrey Todd Tufts. Both guys are on the track now setting their times. Poston's time, a 5th fastest, 30.82, just a little bit short. As we'll continue to branch out and see the drivers in action. Michael Taylor now put down a few spots from Smith and Todd Tufts here. Todd setting the 13th fastest of the bunch. Michael Taylor, oh, that's not going to help his time any. Very loose there off of turn number 4. And there is a troublesome little exit off turn 4 that can get these guys out of control, and he knew it too. That's not a time he was hoping for. That's not where he was hoping to be put into. Now he's going to have to try to figure out how to get this thing reeled back in and reeled up on the track. Taylor's time, 15th fastest overall. Not what he wants to see. John Garrett trying to shorten the track out as much as he can to set the time. And the time is 5th fastest. He'll lay down a 30.82. Your 5th fastest of the night, John Garrett. Michael Taylor looking to come back from that lap he laid down just a second ago, but I don't think he's going to be able to get it this time. His fastest was a 31.60. After that little spin he had, that's what cost him precious momentum. Certainly not what he wanted to see. As Ty Morosco now will bring it to the stage. 5 minutes left on the qualifying here, and we'll see how he handles and how he fares. But real quick, race fans, let's go ahead and chat in with an old friend of ours, a driver we haven't seen quite a while here. He returns to the show. Piloting it is Mr. Brandon Medford in the 83. Randy, you got a copy down there, my friend?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, Brandon, it's been a bit of a time since we've seen you from the iRacing iRock Challenge Series, my friend, but now you have returned to the PTM Racing TV side of things. How's it feel to be back out here, buddy?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've run with this group. Been running my Thursday night deal with the iRock series, so kind of missed out on this, but great group of guys and happy to be here.
So coming back here to the stage and coming out here onto the Chicagoland Speedway, I got to ask you, man, what brings you back? Did you just want to come by and say hello, or were you just actually thinking about trying to put up a fight with these guys?
A bunch of good guys in here. Always is. It's always a great group. So, like I said, just a night off on my other league, so wanted to run, so came over here with these guys and see how I can stack up.
Certainly stack up indeed here, Medford. Well, we appreciate you coming by and saying hello, and it's great to see you back out here. Best of luck tonight, buddy.
Yep, thanks, buddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Medford here in the number 83, returning to the show, returning to the field. We'll see how he handles out on the track. 3 minutes left to go in qualifying here. Currently, a field finishing out their run, finishing out their positions. Ty Morosco. Oh, the 13th is going to be a lucky 13. He got a big score here, 3rd fastest. A solid time of 30.79. And look at the time difference here between 1st to 10th. A 30.77 was the time to beat. A 30.83 was the difference maker there. Chicagoland Speedway is all about speed and endurance. And these drivers are going to get a whole lot of that and then some with this race. This is going to be an absolute shootout to figure out who is the top tier of them all. '54 Christopher Tate now coming back onto the training field, back onto the track here, looking to try to set the time off here. Set himself down into position and set in for the run. Brad Thacker has joined us in as well, saying needs a 56 there. Brad, I mean, that's up to you, buddy. You can always come join this and watch the racing here, man. Knowing you half the time, you'll probably just sneak into my mouse trap here and actually try to figure out how to call the race with me, as you usually are one to do. all jokes aside there, for those that may not know the last name, John Thacker / Brad Thacker, he is he's had a fun time kind of coming by and messing with me on these calls and on these shows on the Tuesday night and ones originally the Monday night series. Field stretching out right now with 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock, and the number 54, Christopher Tate, setting his time. Oh my, look at this, race fans. A 30.76. Christopher Tate, your new leader out of qualifying. And that, my friends, is the mark to beat. My word, that is a fast, blistering lap here, race fans, and he knows it too. This could set the bar high and set a standard, to say the least. Well, the stage is set now for our drivers to come out here and put on a show with only about a minute left in qualifying. What we got out of this is frankly just pure adrenaline and pure endurance here, to say the least. It gives me a good idea of what we're going to really put out on the track and see what we're going to get out of it as well. If you ask me, I'd say probably your top 5, Colin, Morosco, Williams, Griffin, Tate, they're the 5 you need to watch out for in this race. But the problem is, everyone was so close in performance from the top 10 on upward in the qualifying end, and some drivers that I know personally that can actually make that long run last between like the camps of Mefford, Campbell, Pottle, and even, you know, Taylor and Smith. Those guys all have easily endurance runs if they wish to go that route. Being in the back means nothing to them and does not give them any free will or free angle to get away from this position that they could possibly throw themselves into. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all fares and all it shakes up. But I mean, if you ask me, guys, this is without a doubt, this is going to be anybody's race and anybody's position to take, depending on who gets the better of the drivers here on the track. So with that in mind, race fans, we are now finishing up qualifying, which means it's time to set the bar and set the field on track. Your grading order now sets in sail and sets in motion. The number 1 seed is Christopher Tate, piloting a number 54. To his outside, it is the 03. That is going to be Cody Griffin. And row number 2, Tim Williams pilots the big 45 out of Canada, with his outside being the number 13, Ty Marasco. Row number 3 is the 21, the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, the winner of Texas. Looking to get back another win in the 17, though, Derek Paulson, still searching for the win he so feels he desires. Row number 4, John Garrett, still winless, but not out of the hunt yet. Will file it on the inside, with the outside of him being the 51, Todd Poston. And row number 5, last week's feature winner, the number 47, Dustin Franklin. Looking to go big and go for broke again in Chicago, but his outside, it is the Indeed camps of Eric Blount. Row number 6, Michael E. Campbell pilots the 292. His outside's the 83, Brandon Mefford. Row number 7, Jeffrey Todd Tubbs the 72 with the 24. Is piloted by the 24, Tim Lee. Row number 8 is going to be Chantel Bottle in the 5. Her outside, it is the 34, Doug Wysocki. And row number 8. And row number 9, Michael Taylor pilots the 98 with his outside. The 08 is Robert Smith. Row number 10 is piloted by Douglas R. Johnson, and the 388. His outside will be Nicholas Acquire in the in the number 9. And finally, row 11, Brian Rainville will pilot the 60 with his outside, Len McNeese, the number 84. And race fans, it was a long row of drivers to get through, but this is a long road to success for many others. 100 laps to the distance at Chicagoland Speedway. Enjoy that. We missed you. We wanted to bring you something. Well, we gave you something. We gave you 20 plus of the best truck drivers in the Pit Stall Summer Series, ready to duke it out. We are set to go. The field is ready. They'll send them on down their way into turn number 3 and to turn 4 on the road to success. Field is set to go to the green flag. We wave them. Here we go. No gimmies here, no breaks whatsoever. Racing kind of like a super speedway out of the gate. They'll have to find a long run term, long run gain, and a game plan of tires and fuel strategy from the racing here. Chicagoland Speedway has never disappointed on that front nor on that end of the levels. They look to get it done here today as they come down the front straightaway here at the 3 wide pack random draft. Tim Williams, the meat of the sandwich, stuck in the middle once again. Can't get around the pack for the 17. Coming and kicking in with Derek Paulson behind. Your battle for the race lead heating up. Christopher Tate, the number 54, looking to try to not only set the bar from his qualifying lap, but also keep Cody Griffin from knocking another win off the list. The 03 has been one tough animal and one tough cat, to say the least, and he'd love to try to take another one off the spot. Onboard camera here right now currently as the field continues their way around the track and around the place field here. By the way, I need to correct myself from last week. Dustin Franklin did not win that race there. That was actually won by Thomas Lee. Thomas is not here with us tonight here, so I do need to issue a quick apology. I did not mean to confuse the camp of Dustin Franklin and Thomas Lee. If Franklin does win tonight, though, you sure I'll give him a quick little apology there and say that he won tonight, but not last week. So many leagues to keep track of, so many other folks to keep track of these days, man. As a broadcaster, sometimes I even forget who the heck I'm calling for and what's going on. There's just so much going on, so much to play. So thankfully we got our fact check done, we got the notes out, and made sure we were double checking over our notes. But at least you guys know it's live television. This isn't no joke. This is all live and done right on the spot. So you know, it's pretty much kind of how it works here in this kind of racing business. Tim Williams by being put back in the middle of the 3 wide sandwich a minute ago there earlier. He is still moved back into the 3rd now, taking full control of his drive and full control of his run, hoping for a little bit of a break, a little bit of a hand here from the rest of the cats. EMF Racing Design 17 of Derek Paulson last week also putting up a great showing from himself here, but unfortunately fell victim to the late stages of cautions and just temperamental racing. Some guys are getting kind of a little too off-center and off-pace for their own good and costing themselves dearly, giving wins and giving spots up where they really felt like maybe they had more momentum and more gain. And that's where these guys right now are trying to watch themselves and rid themselves of that eagle. This being 100 laps too, man, this is going to get a little bit wild out of the gate here. Some drivers may be cooking up the tires off the start. Maybe some of them may be kind of laying low a little bit more often than not. Not a real perfect way of showing you and telling you who's who and who's where until we get about 5 or 7 laps more into this race and into this event to see how cooking these tires are getting. Because again, those right fronts with this setup where this truck kind of plays itself out as, it could easily be dripped off and kind of lowered up and put in bad spots if you steer and turn these machines up too quickly or too harshly. That's why you see a lot of guys right out of the gate, they're trying to usually kind of play safe by simply just steering only as much as they absolutely have to. Only when later on, that's when they actually will start to pour on the throttle and really give it all they've got. Robert Vaness joining us well here today. Here, it's great to have you on board, sir. Thank you for coming on scene. If you're having a race tonight, I say we will, and I say we're getting quite a bit ahead of that. Oh my! Christopher Tate, the number 54, nearly getting the inside corner panel there of Ty Morosco as he loses a lot of ground and time, giving it to the 6'6" of John Garrett. John Garrett able to actually get the screen printing 6'6" right up ahead of him here as there's trouble down there from Brandon Medford. The number 83 camp troubles on the front stretch, on the front leg of the track. On the back leg, actually here, Brian with looks like that might be Tim Lee as well. Kind of coincided in that little mix-up. I'll take a look at the PTM replay, see what exactly happened here. Presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Here is the PTM replay. Well, from that end, it looks like Chantal Paddle may have drove up just a slight bit too much there and ended up clipping around with the 83 of Brandon Medford. Unfortunately, colliding with that 83 machine, getting right into the mix-up there. First mistake going to the 5 or the 83. We'll see here. Looked like the 5 may have overdrove it. Yeah, you can see right there. She overdrove a little bit, kind of drifted up, and Mefford probably didn't even realize where she was at. And then unfortunately, Michael Campbell getting clipped into that 292, getting wrecked out. And unfortunately, our camera kind of blew off there for a second, but not a whole lot you can do from that scenario. Not a whole lot of positions you can really get away. Michael Taylor in the 98 now will stay on out. Looks like he's going to try to extend the life of his truck and extend the light of this field today. Race fans, tonight's race here at Chicagoland Speedway is brought to you in part by our friends at Fort Worth Screen Printing. When you guys need to get yourself the best designs and tees designed up in a fashion for your liking by simply just putting your logo, putting your stuff on that shirt, there's no better way to go through than with Fort Worth Screen Printing. Be sure to check them out at fortworthscreenprinting.com. Also, while you're at it, be sure to check out the Twitch channel for them and John T. Garrett. A big thank you to their Twitch channel there, John T. Garrett Twitch channel. Thanks so much for their support. So currently, after a fresh set of pit stops here, we see Cody Griffin and Tim Williams kind of mixing and matching up there. The pit times, though, are surprisingly not here. Actually, they all went in for fuel except for Jeffrey Todd Tubbs, insinuating to get 4 tires there and fuel. The only other one to do it, Robert Smith in the 08. Brandon Mefford now entering into pit road after the heavy damage sustained on the 83. Looks like he doesn't want to mix up with any of these guys for a second. Looks like he wants to try to get that damage fixed up on the Zoe's place 83 camp. Let's see what he does here as he gets it right down into pit road. And an instant repair is used up, so the 83 will have to lose one and take the fuel and make a run for it. Very interesting position to be put into. Again, we see a lot of guys and a lot of gals trying to accentuate the life of these trucks, and they accentuate by simply just backing off the throttle or giving it more power when only necessary, and really just giving it so much leeway off the ends here. There's really no way of telling who or what will be able to kind of kick off and kick around in their positions or in their run until we get to the very end of it. Field set up back for the restart zone now, race fans. Here they will pilot them off the corners and into the next straight, leading them down for the big startup sequence here. They'll put down to the back straightaway here at the moment. Your top 5, Michael Taylor, Cody Griffin, Tim Williams, Robert Kahn, Ty Marasco. Everybody places flip-flopping around the track. Only Brandon Mefford using an instant repair, and it looked like Todd Tufts and Mr. Robert Smith were the only ones that had used a longer session to get in for tires. So we'll see if that is going to be enough to kind of stick with the boys up front, or if maybe their strategy may end up coming back to haunt them. You can never be too sure here at PTM Racing TV, and we're about to find that out right now. Into the distance zone, off of turn number 4, back to the green we fly. The green we fly, the power base off the track. Robert Con, the number 21 Freightliner going back to the bottom with Tim Williams, the 45 right in that mix. And now back below, turning topside, Michael Taylor sends the draft off. Cody Griffin crossed up, now mixed in, 3 wide salute with the rest of the pack. Looks like John Garrett, Ty Morosco weren't exactly too thrilled to have them kind of thrown down like that, and they saw an opening. And Griffin knew he was being put into a dilemma spot, having to drive up that high on the track. Remember, the only time you really want to go that high up is to conserve your tires. And at times, to try to throw a little bit of a block on these guys. Usually when you're driving that high up, though, that's just to turn less rather than having to pour on more speed and momentum. Con looking to kind of mix it up a little bit again as it gets right into it with a 0-3 of Cody Griffin. No harm or foul there, as the rest of the drivers here are still giving it their work and their run. She had the bottle after a little hiccup she had in turn number 2 there, with Brandon Medford seems to be aware of the mistakes and now really aware of her surroundings. There are mental errors here in racing, as we talked about before, and a lot of these guys and gals have been through it before. I personally have done it many, many times. I still do it, by the way. Here I actually have that at Lanier National Speedway with the Super League model earlier this morning. Had the second place spot locked up, then I gave the inside up, and then I had to go the outside. And then once you're in the outside of that track, you guys know what it's like on the asphalt. Pretty much no man's land with the Super League. Anyway, that's beyond the point. Here at Chicagoland, that's a completely different story. Even though actually the configuration of those two tracks are pretty similar, just the only difference is that Lanier is a lot shorter than this place and smaller. This place, really, it's all about hammering down and throwing off any kind of leg up you can. You can find the right timing, the right speed, tip of power up here. These things will charge, they will run quick. Never thought that was the 72 now, kind of mixing it up a little bit here. Drivers currently hitting up with a speed of over 186 miles per hour. Some of that may be due to the draft, some of it is probably honestly just due to the power they're laying down. Tim Williams, though, man, that's number 45 camp. He is really dead set and dead on to win a race. The guy behind him, though, he knows a thing or two about winning these races. The Pit Stall Summer Series Golden Boy himself, 0-3, is Cody Griffin. I say the Golden Boy because really, he's been the one that's won the most races so far. He's the one that's been absolutely taking this season, this schedule by storm, making sure everyone's put on notice. Lean in the house, though, now mix up the mashup puzzle here in the middle of the pack. Eric Blount, the number 6 outside machine, got company to his left side corner panel. Jeffrey Todd Tuff, S72, trying to put the NVIDIA Silverado in that mix and in that hunt. They'll go 3 wide. Oh, and Blount even driving up a little bit the same spot that Pottle got the number 83 of Medford earlier. Todd stays extremely close to the bottom, keeps his cards close to his hand, and keeps it close to the heart. Doesn't want anyone to know too quickly that he's been at pit road or that he's been making some moves here to try to take down the drivers. Robert Smith, the number 08, also kind of clucking it back in, fighting it in. You can see just how much steering wheel movement and input he is putting into that thing forcefully, just getting it to steer off. That's one of the hardest parts about running here at Chicagoland, is the fact that you have that area of the outside exits and those inside corners that kind of flat spot down into the turn bankings. From progressive turn to literally just a hard run turn, there are so many areas to have to work around and have to complete just to even get a good long look at a good long run. Everybody knows that's why they're being very, very conservative right at this moment. Cody Griffin giving up a lot of time here to Tim Williams, and I think it's about time we take a look at our track lap times here, presented by Fort Worth Screen Printing. Here is a lap time set by our timing zones. The timing zones show that Griffin has been relatively off by a few there, except for lap 19. Lap 19 was a gain, but it seems he's either laying off right now to forcefully let Williams get a false sense of help, false sense of run, and then squeeze the life out of him. But that's definitely a tall order and a tall task, because again, Chicagoland is no easy track. If you don't get a good run early and don't keep it up, there's a good chance you may be stuck back there later unless you got a fresher set of tires to use up. ESP Designs, number 6, Todd Poston, Monster Energy, Alva Blast having some company though, coming down for his bottom leg of the race. Here, the Fort Worth Screen Printing 47 Silverado of Dustin Franklin. Looking to kind of click it up things, start to notch things away. The 08 Robert Smith also in that mix-up, in that hunt. Michael Taylor making a bold strategy earlier when he went with the strategy of staying out when everyone went into pit road. His game plan and timing and strategy really hinders and really stood upon one thing, and that was, could he get this truck to get enough grip and enough bite off on the later stages, off the later runs. Todd Tough starting to slow off a little bit in the 72. Looks like he might have some troubles here in the NVIDIA 72 machine. Doesn't seem to be yet, but he's getting a lot more grip and a lot more push on these guys. I don't know. I mean, taking 4 sets of tires here when you only had about 12 laps in is a definite risk, because again, you lose a set of tires. Remember, you're only allowed so many of them, and you need all the sets you can get to really kind of keep up with the rest of the field, keep up with the rest of the packs. But right now, Todd is showing he can kind of move in with these guys and kind of start making some runs here. And speaking of making some runs, up ahead, Cody Griffin taking control. Tim Williams, the 45, actually slamming the outside wall protection there, and looks like cost himself a lot of time. Griffin managed to catch up to Tim. Did he get a little bit too much pressure on himself? Looks like he did right here. Look out for that beaky paints here. Slamming it right off the exit there. You saw he just kind of got a little too ahead of himself. And that is what we're talking about when we talk about tire wear and conservation. You just can't burn it up that quickly, because again, it will just completely torment your run and minimize your amount of speed you can grab later. Tim needs to learn from this. When he gets into pit road, he needs to really time it and really make a big of a battle for it, because he's lost a lot of ground here. The rest of your cats right now, though, they are not giving any inches here. John Garrett right now trying to tell Ty Morosco, if you don't get going, I'll get you going myself here, kid. Morosco moving in a second. Garrett still hanging back and forth. Could not take Quentin Williams with him. And Robert Kahn now and John Garrett back at it. Oh, you want to talk about history? These two have history. They have gone to war before on other leagues. They have battled each other many times before. Looking to do it again here. Will it be Garrett's turn, though, to knock down the Rattlesnake? Looking to put the big boot straight down on the Rattlesnake's throat. Can't quite get it to clear, though. Swinging the pass off, and it's now Todd Tufts intervening. Look at the 72 NVIDIA machine. Starting to make some boys turn their heads and question whether he's coming back for him or not. He's even got a little bit of damage on that left front corner panel there. You see that left front hood area there is actually bent in slightly, and yet it's still kicking up speed, still powering down and getting right up to those heavy favorites. That's how much of a difference that fresh set of tires is making on these guys, and distributing that weight transfer and the shock absorbers in all parts of the end is what's really giving them a lot of hope and a lot of momentum to use for later. This is where it starts to get a little bit more hectic, knowing you're this close to the packs, this close to the run. You get kind of stuck in the middle of this, kind of stuck in the hatchet of it. It just becomes a lot more difficult and enduring to fight off and fight around with the track. There's so much racing going on, so much integrity and momentum continuing to play a factor, play a role. Everything up for grabs here. Even now the 17, Derek Paulson, coming up with the MF Racing Design. It's at 150. See the gap starting to sway off. Robert Kahn now moving into the third spot with Ty Morosco, looking to catch up to Morosco and then get to Griffin. Griffin knows if Kahn gets to him, he may have a lot more company. Remember last week at Nashville Fairgrounds, Nashville Speedway, excuse me, that, my friends, was where everything got flipped around, got really taken full control and full take of. And speaking of full take of, I don't know if Brandon Medford was about ready to take Garrett's bumper, or if he was trying to make an extremely good pass there, but my word, Garrett getting so close to losing everything there in the Dead Parrot 66 Fort Worth screen printing Silverado, but did not lose it to Brandon Medford, the 83, just getting the Zoe's place 83 right now into the mix. And if you guys are wondering what Zoe's place is, it's a child advocacy center there, beautifully well constructed and well executed thing that a lot of kids are being helped use with and being helped treated with by the friends over at Zoe's place. So big props to them on that sponsorship and that crew of the guys down there helping with the 83 of Brandon Medford tonight in his race and conquest. Hard to believe, but 35 laps have been completed so far out of the 100. We're nearing halfway point, and so far it has been mainly the 0321 camp having some fun all day. As Robert Kahn now moves ahead of Marasco. Marasco, though, has made a bit of a great comeback, maybe a great resurgence here, not giving up too much room and too much openings, but he is still not quite in full contention, full on run. John T. Garrett and Dustin Franklin, they have both all entered in a pit road. Nicholas Acquier as well as Chantal Pottle staying way behind the pack here with Michael E. Campbell and even our longtime friend Doug Wysocki kind of up there ahead of him. Douglas R. Johnson, the threes, 88 as well. Keeping a little bit of distance from the 5. I don't think he's trying to escape from her what she did earlier there with Brandon Medford. I think he's just kind of keeping a close tab on that draft, keeping a close tab on guys making a mistake, and there's your mistake. Nicholas Acquier, the number 9 Ford F-150 getting right into the wall protection off the corner yet again. And another heartbreaking loss of speed and ground for that 9 as he nearly puts a Wrangler bumper to that 388 of Douglas R. Johnson. Cody Griffin with a commanding lead right now, but as we look at the lap times here, that may not be a full situation later. Khan trying to find some grip, find some run for him, but it's not quite going the way he was hoping for, and he's starting to see it too. Brandon Medford and Doug Wysocki now having a little bit of a tussle here, and you can see even Brandon Medford suffering some damage on that right side of his corner panels and the side of his door again. Not sure where that came from or where that hit is from there, but gotta believe he's kind of keeping a close tab with his longtime friend here, Doug Wysocki. Those two are working really well together on the iRacing IROC Challenge Series, and we're looking to kind of keep up that traditional sake here with this priest today. Well, right now he's doing a pretty good job of that, and then some, hanging in that top 10, top 5 backgrounds here. Eric Loud about 2 seconds ahead right now of the guys you see in this pack right now, battling it out. Paulson, Smith, Wysocki, Medford. Tim Williams, a shocker so far here. They fell back way behind his pace that he was setting earlier, slamming into that wall protection. Certainly doesn't help his cause in order to help out his run, and he knows that's why he's trying to continually get back out into this fight, into this fray. Pack racing up again here, and it looks like the drivers' trucks may be starting to fade off just a little bit on the right front tire here, because I'm not seeing them swing as much to the corners and really not gripping as much. Usually we can see when you got a guy or a gal that's really getting around these corners and around these spots, you can see them actually kind of lift the truck up slightly and raise with a little bit more power. I'm seeing these things a little bit lower to the ground here than I would have accustomed or thought of seeing. So it tells me two things. Number one, the right front's going away, or number two, they are not nearly pushing a momentum booster or any of that truck ahead. Well, 482 laps now clocked in the book. I think we've got ourselves quite a bit of pit strategy being thrown out there. Cody Griffin, Robert Kahn, Tim Williams, Todd Poston, Eric Blount, Jeffrey Tontefs, Nicholas Akier have all entered into pit road. Ty Moroska will join as well now. Christopher Tate, your #1 qualifier, staying way behind the field and off the pace here. Looks like he's trying to play a different strategy here, play a different kind of role or different kind of little playing field here. As he'll join in pit road, the #5 joins him as well. Griffin, Garrett, Franklin, Kahn, Flout, Taylor, Williams, Tufts, Poston there have all returned to the track now. The only ones that have stayed out were Derek Paulson, the 17, and the 808 of Robert Smith. Paulson, though, must admit defeat, go into pit road and send it on its way once again. Robert Smith now heading into pit road. Cody Griffin right now, you're going to be possibly your race leader here in just a brief minute. Well, right now, when we look back at our last pit stops, we're back on lap number 10, 11, and 12-ish. You can see now we have gone about 30 plus laps or so, so really 30 to 32 laps is the farthest wrench of this fuel run they're going to get. Most time we see them go to pit road, it's always because of fuel. You never really catch it with tires, only on very, very sun-bathed desert tracks, if you will, or places that the humidity is so high that it would actually get these trucks and get them to overheat a little bit. Do you ever see them actually have to go in the pit road for any other things there? So Griffin taking the lead away. Gone Garrett right now falling back into the second slot. Dustin Franklin right behind him, working together here, trying to stay, of course, trying to stay in playing field territory here. Getting word down there, there was a little bit of trouble there for the 5, excuse me, of Chantel Pottle going on and off track here. We'll take a look at the replay, see what happened here. Sounds like she may have got a little mixed up there with the fresh set of tires. And definitely there you can see just the cold tires right there. That's the colder set, and having to go from her original set, completely throwing her off track and off playing field. Gets right into the side there with Douglas R. Johnson. Johnson not even aware where the heck she was going, where that was even going to happen at. Gets right into the thick of it and nowhere to get out from. The definite unfortunate break. And again, it's just kind of shocking to me that some of these guys, the guys you see, usually they run really well, are struggling as bad as he is right now. You would not have expected this, nor have even thought that would be possible. Yeah, it looked like Johnson was having some really mechanical problems down there, so he had to pull out of the race here and get off the track. That is the word going around the stage right now. Robert Kahn now jumping ahead of the pack again, going right into the second spot. Cody Griffin knows the last time those two were that close together, it did not end very well. Last time out, it was literally a little heated affair, shall we say, coming to the line, coming to the end of the track in the race. We were getting in out of pit stops. Kahn had gotten ahead of Con was ahead by entering into pit road, but then when coming out of pit road, the 03 of Cody Griffin had entered in as well, setting the bar high for both guys to choose their mark, choose their spots. Griffin thought he could outrun the 21, but Con coming off of turn number 2 was a little bit high, a little bit more in the middle, kind of more centered off. And as Griffin was coming up, he actually spun the tires in a dead heat block of speed, costing him dearly and giving Thomas Lee all he needed to see and all he needed to bring it home in victory lane that night. Gordon Larson saying, sorry I didn't make it. Gordon's all right, buddy. At least you can still kind of hang around with us here in the comments section, see the race in action as it goes live on the show. But it's great. It is great to hear from you, though, sir, and hopefully we'll see you next time on out. Past halfway here, and so far it's been a long, long road for all drivers involved here. Again, guys, I want to give you a little special thank you to our friends over on our sponsors list at Fort Worth Screen Printing. When you need to get yourself some designed up tees and some work done for your next livery of shirts and hats and merchandise, only a good way to go through is with our friends at Fort Worth Screen Printing. To build up your brand and merchandise line, be sure to visit them up at fortworthscreenprinting.com. Also, presenting with them is our friends at John T. Garrett Twitch channel. Be sure to check it out at the John T. Garrett Twitch channel on Twitch. It'll be a good time to show, and he shows you all what he's doing right now as he tries to wheel it up there with Con and Griffin. Derek Paulson, the number 17, currently now bookman up there with Tim Williams, the 485. Remember, Tim earlier on was your race leader, was leading the pack and leading the 03 into the promised land, but it was unfortunately too little too late to preserve the tire for him after he got a little too ahead of himself. Tires gave in and gave out, slamming that wall off of turn number 4. Thankfully, the damage was cleaned up and fixed. Now having the aero dependency and filler set back in motion. Christopher Tate here, another surprise position and person in the hunt right now, currently way back of the field. Remember, he was your number 1 qualifier in the number 54 camp. Actually set the fastest time by 100 of a second to Cody Griffin. And the fact that he is not where he is at right now and really farther back in this field is just a shocker to me. I would not have thought he'd be stuck in the 15th spot and right now almost about ready to be lapped down by Griffin and Con. That's the last thing you would have expected, nor the last thing you would have even seen or even heard of. Brandon Medford in the 83 now making his way around the 5. Sento Pottle, and well, earlier on, Pottle and Medford had a little tangle up there. Got kind of clinged around there off turn number 2. Medford, thankfully, getting a good clean drive off there. There's always place now, making ahead of the 5. So no troubles this time around. Brandon is holding in the top 10 here with his friend and colleague there in number 34, Doug Wysocki, kind of laying back low. Back on ahead here at top 5 right now, pumping up. John Garrett, excuse me, in the 66, and then Ty Marasco kind of pulling off their speeds, about a second and a 4/10 of a gain there between those two. They're separated out by that margin of error. You can see as well just from the leaderboard how far Griffin and Con have stretched each other out from the rest of the field. And really that's just due to a number of things. Number one, their strategy on tires and their fuel and how they distribute everything on the long run versus their short run. Usually when you start a run, you try to lay low for a second or two, and then when you need to go big and go for broke, that's when you start really kind of ho-homming and hammering down when it's necessary and really make for a break rate. Long-term strategy, long-term run, definitely a factor again, but with what we were looking at earlier with that 30, when they got to about lap 41, 42, 43 for some, before they went into pit road, you can see that there was a lot of troubles staying ahead of the curve and staying ahead of the bankment there. And again, I don't think that 2-3 extra laps in this case is going to make a big difference when it comes to pit strategy and pit stops here, unless they can really find a way to get that speed back. Remember, there's a difference between actually setting up a run and making it last long versus actually getting that run to get right back ahead of the other drivers and ahead of the field when you absolutely need to. If you give up too much time, give up too much ground in the long haul, it costs you dearly, and it can be a very big beneficiary and factor to others when they don't realize that that fuel run's doing what they're up to here. This is a part of the racing deals and a part of the racing growth. It's the whole ideals in the ice stretcher of getting closer as you go, but longer into a run as you can clip. Ty Morosco here, and right now moving in, currently about 4th spot up, looking to get the Eric Blau on the number 6 here. Let's take a look at the lap time here between those two, and it looks like currently 63 and 64 best for him, although that lap 65 and 66, way different change there for him versus what Morosco, versus what Blount was doing. Blount is giving up a lot of time here to Morosco, and Morosco knows this, but go on board with him. It actually, here's a little thing you do. You may have actually listened to Morosco. You can actually hear him clutching the truck in. You're probably wondering at home, how does that work with this run? Right? Shouldn't you be staying in the throttle and not actually clutching to kill the engine off? Well, the reason you kill the engine off for a second, and it's the transmission as well, is to actually let the engine line, the fuel, stop from taking any more injection, any more intake to the power and the gun of itself. It allows the drivers to actually get a little bit more kick up, a little bit more speed to hang in there and actually kind of get a little bit more of a drive off. Remember, the more fuel you have, the longer you stay out on the track. Pretty simple, isn't it? Field's starting to separate out more as we go. Cody Griffin right now about to catch up to Michael E. Campbell here in the 292 and give up his run and his piece of the pie. Griffin right now currently in a dead drive, trying to keep Kahn behind him. Griffin down to the bottom here, and now Campbell kind of getting cleared up there as well for Christopher Tate. Tate is a lap down as well, mind you. And again, for the guy that literally was your #1 qualifier, very, very disappointing to see that he has fallen so far behind, but now gets us a bit of a break, and now for the first time we get to see if Kahn and Griffin will have a little shootout on their hands. This could get very, very interesting. Tim Williams will enter into pit road. Next up on the chopping block, Michael E. Campbell has already been in pit road. So that fuel run and that fuel time here with only 30 laps you get in, costing some of these guys precious momentum and speed here, that could play a factor. Cody Griffin right now currently going further back into the field here with Robert Kahn now literally just about a second and a half behind him. He knows if he does not get ahead a little bit quicker, Kahn will catch him, and he's going to have to figure out how to avoid him and try to hold this one out. Ty Morosco waiting as long as he can before he has to head into pit road. He knows as long as he doesn't have to go into pit road right now, he can get more laps, which means more tire wear for him. This could actually be a really big benefactor. He knows the more laps he can put on and the less he burns that tire out, he'll be able to use it. This is actually some brilliant strategy here, and it forces the rest of the guys to kind of hurry up and catch up to him. He was in pit road on lap number 42, so he's coming very close to actually being forced to have to enter in. He was clutching in though to try to get an extra lap or two on that fuel and on that run. I think it might be time to admit defeat though. Morosco might be time to head in there. And he's going to. There it is. Pit stops now being made. Morosco goes in. So will Paulson. Smith though. Looks like he's going to go into pit road here in a second as well. Looks like he's going to try to enter in and try to get himself a bit of a chance here. Christopher Tate has already been entered in as well. So right now the field are currently stretching themselves back out and stretching themselves a little thin here. 16, 19 second gap changed up and flip-flopped around between the front heavy hitters here. Morosco and Paulson have now been put back behind Griffin and Kahn. Now your new leaders yet again. And you gotta wonder yourself, is Kahn wanting this? Is this exactly where he wants to throw Cody Griffin in again into the doghouse? He's been here before, he can do it again. Morosco in the number 13's got a little bit of a fresher set on tires and a little bit of a fresher set with fuel. Might have some time to get up there with the field and get up there back with his packs and back with this run. But a 16 second gap difference, that's a bit of a hard sell, my friend. He needs help, and he needs a lot of it. Everybody in pit road taking a fresh set of tires and a little bit of fuel to mix it up a little bit. And my word, that was a very, very tight little deal there and tough little spot to be put into. The Fort Worth Green Point Racing guys, Garrett and Franklin right now currently staying ahead of the number 45, Tim Williams. As Williams tries to get this BK Race Designs machine right into the fray, into the battle, going down low with 25 laps left to go. We're coming near an ending sequence here. Gap starting to flip around here, and oh, look at this here. Looks like we got a bit of a lap gap change now. Time is running out once again. Griffin and Kahn, they are set to face each other again. Last time, though, it was coming out of pit road that cost him. This time, it will be a full long distance run. Griffin now starting to feel some pressure. The Rattlesnake is closing in, closing off on him, looking for a charge and a half, looking to gain the distance, gain the ground footing for him. See the guys up ahead of him, Gone Garrett, Dustin Franklin right now, almost close to being put a lap down themselves as well. Here they are not having enough time to keep up with their distance, keep up with their race here. Bit of a tall order, looks like lap traffic will stay up on the top side here. Griffin and Gone, they're gonna get all the run to themselves here. Who will get the advantage? Griffin trying to hold the close off, trying to hold the door out of there from the 21. That 550 horsepower package though could play a bit of a factor. Kahn seemingly knows this as well. That's why he's trying to get this truck to dive and puncture through the air as best he can. Looking for any opening, any kind of help here, but looks like he's gonna separate it out again. So now looks like there might be some room for Griffin to bring. For anytime he can breathe, kind of have a second to kind of catch your breath. That will help out for this one. I'll tell you that much. Todd posting now on the number 6, kind of creeping in, kind of creeping off. He's making things a lot more worse for wear on Doug Wysocki's camp here, not wanting to let him in there too quickly. Knows there is a stake in the matter, and there is still some room to make it big or go for broke. Posted looking to get a good drive off on the 34, not trying to use the trap, but use just his overall speed and power to his advantage. And it's starting to lock up, getting a good drive. The Monster Energy Juice is starting to make a little bit of extra kickback. Wysocki knows he could be in trouble here. Kenny Spicer, I'm probably saying your last name wrong, but saying David and Goliath battle it out, or hashing it out, excuse me. Yeah, it's pretty much kind of the way to look at it. Old Dave, Goliath being Griffin, David being Kahn. Although any other league I'd have said Kahn was the date would have been the Goliath there. I've only been able to outbeat him on like 2 tracks on my end. And that was Phoenix and Road America. That was the only 2 tracks I was ever able to defeat that guy on. And right now he is toppling and topping this entire race and making things so much more difficult for everyone to catch him and get around to him. Griffin knows this is why he is all alone. That's why he's not getting any help from the rest of these guys. Michael Taylor now in the number 98, starting to make a bit of a resurgence, made a bit of a comeback in the Flex Seal 98 Silverado down to Dustin Franklin and John Garrett. Remember, they are above the lap down right now currently with the 2 leaders. Franklin losing a lot of momentum there in the 47, opens the door wide for a thief in the night to steal it from him, and it will be indeed the number 98, Michael Taylor. Drive hard, and the Menards 98 Silverado getting right back into this fight. Gonna go now for John Garrett in the 66. Still starting to kind of feel pressure, feel the heat of the fuel in the tire run right now. Currently Con backing down a little bit to Griffin. The David Goliath battle concludes on. Con seemingly having to hold on the momentum, hold on to the ground and the clearance. But you can see, I think he might be playing a little bit of possum with Griffin. I don't think he wants to use his stuff up. He doesn't want to play his hand right now. Remember the last time Griffin saw someone play his hands on him, he was actually able to outsmart him and outwit him there to the line. Christopher Tate now getting right back up ahead of another lap traffic car on the 5 centile bottle right now. Tate moving back into the ninth slot. A very heroic effort, a very good drive for him considering he was back at 15th at one point. But it still kind of boggles my mind. He was the #1 qualifier and he's so far behind the rest of these guys. I think it all boils down to kind of what he was looking to set for a strategy and what he was looking to set for a run. And instead it ended up coming back to bite him on both accounts. Con closing gaps off again. We got about 800th of a second that time there on the 03 of Griffin. Both guys are hurting. They're struggling to just keep these trucks online, knowing what is at stake and what is on the line. For Con to be win number 2, for Griffin to be win number 4. So much they want, so much they can take and give, but again, only one may come out on top. Tate having a little bit of trouble getting around that 5 centile bottle. Bottle's not exactly making it easy for him. No surprise there. Usually she'll keep these guys up to wraps and cup them up to par and not let them in so easily. Laps left to go. You can see you can see a draft starting to form. Looks like Con looks to get right into that mix, right into that bunched up spot. Garrett and Franklin right now trying to keep each other together, keep themselves out of trouble here. You can see though the 98 is now marching back up to him here. Michael Taylor gonna get laps back, get some time back after heading back into pit road. For a good drive and making for a good battle off. Right now he is behind the number 17 of Derek Paulson. Paulson in the top 5, looking to keep that top 5 in his zone and in his playing field. This is starting to get a little bit interesting here. Right now the only 2 leaders, Con and Griffin, are only separated by less than half a second here. This is getting to be a very tumultuous task for Griffin. He knows if he makes one wrong move or makes one wrong turn, or he doesn't get this thing to turn, he knows Con will seal it from him. If I was Griffin, when we get to those last lap, I would start to probably block like nobody's ever blocked before and make sure this one's wrapped up. Top 5 now on your screen. Final 5 set for this. Griffin definitely feeling the pressure, feeling the momentum. He's got Tate now blocking up on the top. Excuse me, he's got Michael E. Campbell up on the block side, kind of blocking off for that 21 of Con. Con not able to make his way around back to the 01, stuck in a little bit of that dirty air. Troubles up ahead, troubles are brewing. He's just trying to do everything he can and everything he possibly could to try to get this one. Griffin, though, is not making it easy for him, but with the help of Tate, might have a chance here. Tate kind of driving the whole shot there for Con. Con knows that if he doesn't get some of that draft, some of that push, he won't be able to really do much with it. Tires have taken a beating there and taken too much effort out of the truck. And the Freightliner is starting to fade. Griffin now looks like he might be starting to finish it off. 3 laps left to go. Brandon Medford here in his return visit, popping out with another solid performance and a great effort from him, nearly getting that top 5. Not to be in this case here, and Ty Morosco now with even more company right behind him here. Derek Paulson, the 17, looking to make a move off, making for a drive. You got 2 heavy battles here from 1st to 4th. Con and Griffin getting the most media attention, but right now Paulson and Morosco definitely deserving their own little piece of the pie here. As Paulson looks to drive the inside, going for the pass. Can't quite get the run though, does not have enough entry bite nor any exit bite to really make it off that quickly. And Morosco and him nearly colliding there on the front straightaway. Both guys still side by side hanging in there. And with 2 laps to go, we'll fly a green flag high in the air. It looks like Paulson might have a slight advantage here as our white goes into the air. Does Con have anything left for Griffin? He needs to use it. He needs to use it fast because right now he's not getting any ground. He's not getting any limit here. Coming our way around off the back straightaway, entering into the final 2 turns. Exiting off. Oh, tires give it out, and Griffin has lost all his momentum. The fuel line gives in, and Robert Kahn will just barely squeak by with this one. Oh my. Oh my. Cody Griffin's fuel run eclipses and costs him dearly, and Robert Kahn's almost did the exact same. But by the slightest bit of luck and the bitest of help, at a turn 4, was able to steer clear and hang on. Robert Kahn wins on fuel in a last-ditch effort. And Cody Griffin could not believe another win slips out of his handbook. Kahn has now got 2 to his name. But despite that and all that madness there, a great epic climactic sequence between Morosco and Paulson pops away with another tremendous battle from start to finish to the end game. And it looks like Kahn may need a little push here. I think he's going to get it from the 84. No, I think he's just going to put it in pit road, it looks like. He's going to try to do something. I think he's going to try to get some burnout. Here we go. Is he going to try it? I think he might just park it in the infield here. There he goes. He's going to put it right up to the front here. Race fans. Fans on their feet. They see the 21 Freightliner machine in victory lane yet again. And another huge win for him and his team. Yeah, he's completely out of fuel, so I don't think he's going to get any burnouts done here, my friends. There it is, race fans. Off the final corner, Griffin, it looked like he had the fuel, he had the run, but my word, it just cost him dearly. Cody Griffin getting second. Derek Paulson, though, finally getting into that top 3, getting a great showing for a podium. Ty Morosco, what can you say about this cab, man? Just continues to get better each time out. Did a great job here going 4th. Eric Blau, great showing from him getting into the top 5. Good work around for that camp. Brandon Medford, Doug Wysocki, great to see both guys back here with us and putting on a show, putting on a great battle there for 6 and 7. Christopher Tate going 8th. Todd Poston getting a 9th, and top 10 there for Tim Lee. Rounds out the field for that one, and rounds out the rest of your field here. Nicholas Acquier and Len McNeese that both ran, finished 19th and 20th respectively. All right, race fans, only one thing left to do. It's time to talk with your top 3 drivers. And I think we might have quite a bit to talk about here in this one. This was absolutely chaotic. This was absolutely wild there, to say the least. And we're going to now start it up with the man that goes in the number 17 here for 3rd today. Race fans, give it up here for Derek Paulson. And Paulson, you know, I know the win is definitely something you're after, but these podiums and these positions don't come easily. And once again, another solid effort for you. You finally getting another podium knocked off the list.
Yeah, it was a good race. Did not think the top 2 would make it on fuel. Strategy I was running, I did not think pitting that early would make it, and so I ran late I think I went 3 extra laps on the first stint and 2 extra laps on the second stint, and those 5 laps with them on fresh tires and me being on old kind of put me behind the 8 ball. I thought I was sitting in a pretty good spot due to fuel concerns, but they were able to save enough on that last run to make it.
They certainly did indeed, and you had ended up making a good little drive off there from the corners and the bankings here. I know there's a lot of troublesome situations in certain areas you could have been put into, but I presume you're pretty happy with the way this kind of all played out for you in the 17 camp today?
Yeah, anytime you're in the top 5 podium, I'm pretty happy about that. Robert and Cody are, class of the field, and so the be joining them up there is good. Hopefully one race I can put together just enough to get a win. I've been pretty close. I think I've got a second once or twice, and third and fourth. So I'm buying time. Hopefully I can get in there.
A win's got to be coming eventually there, my friend, but nevertheless, as you come away third, anybody else you want to thank today?
I got to thank MF Racing Designs, Michael Falk. Anyone needs a paint for their trucks, hit him up. I mean, he's extremely good. Got to thank MFRD, Nick and Ty in the race tonight. Yeah, it was fun again racing with Ty there at the end. I get by him. Got to thank you up there in the booth. Got to thank the admins here at the pit stall. I got to thank everyone who showed up. It was a great turnout again tonight, and it's always fun racing with these guys. 1 caution, 100 laps. That's excellent. So that would be the long list.
All right, definitely a bit of a list, but hey, I mean, you got to get them all out sometime or another. You never know when you're going to get these podiums again. So, Paulson, man, congratulations on that 3rd place, and we'll see you next time out here, buddy.
Sounds good.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 3rd place finisher today, piloting number 17, Derek Paulson. Coming away in 2nd tonight in a bit of a heartbreaker, but he comes away still with the admiration from the other drivers. Cody Griffin coming away 2nd place out of the bunch in the 0-3, and Griffin, man, I know he's still getting these podiums and still definitely rocking in the points, but I've got a feeling right now you're just a little bit kind of all over the place and stunned about that fuel run there coming to the final corner off turn 4.
Yeah, definitely not thrilled. I don't know, man. It's racing, don't get me wrong, but 2nd sucks, especially like that. Lead the whole race pretty much and then come out of 4 and lose it. But it wasn't bad. Biggest thing is lap cars, man. Me and Mr. Com were talking about it, before you pulled me in the booth. There's some big problems with lap cars. I mean, I get it. You're trying not to go a lap down, this, that, and other, but the way they got these setups fixed, they're on the tighter side, and you catch a lap car and it just kills all your momentum because it starts shoving the nose, and you tell them on the radio that you're coming, and I know they hear it, but they just I guess they just take their headset off and say the heck with it. I don't know, but I gotta keep them cool. Anyway, good race. Appreciate y'all broadcasting, and yeah, it's definitely a good point today. It's nothing to hold our head down about, but that sucks, man. I hate losing a race like that. That is no fun.
I mean, it is definitely a bit of a heartbreaker and definitely something to have to learn from. But I mean, for at least now for the moment and this time being, I mean, you gotta keep your head up high and kind of remember this as part of the deal. But I mean, at the end of the day, really, when you go into these next couple of races, do you think that maybe you'll be able to kind of outdo and outplay the Con when you get a chance there?
Oh yeah, I mean for sure. I mean, me and Con are tit for tat. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he told me in Discord just a second ago. He was like, "Man, that was your race. You just got screwed by lap traffic." I said the same thing. It's just, lap traffic, especially when the setup's got a push like that. It wasn't a push when you weren't behind somebody. It was just arrow push. But it's just something you kind of got to deal with. And I'm not crying or anything like that by any means, but it's frustrating. But me and Con had a good race. Me and him, I think we were saving fuel mileage pretty hard there at the end. So that was fun. I'd back off the throttle a little bit going down the straightaway, and I'd see he pull me a 10th, and then he'd back off a little bit more, and I'd pull him back. So it was definitely, he just saved just a little bit more fuel than me. I went back and listened to his onboard, and I ran out right there going into 3, the center of 3 and 4, and he ran off. He ran out coming off 4. So just that little bit's what cost me that win. But hey, it's racing. It's gonna happen. We'll rebound. It's a good point stay, and we're going to go run late models at Carteret this weekend in real world and see if we can't go win us one down there. So.
Anybody else you want to thank here tonight for this one?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Tim Lee for putting on the league. John, Garrett at Fort Worth Screen Printing. Them guys helped me out a lot on here and in real world. Just everybody that kind of helps make this league happen. Dave, got to thank PTM Racing TV for broadcasting, and all the other little people behind the scenes that make it work. This stuff ain't a one-man show, and Tim, he busts his ass trying to make this stuff the best that it can be, and he does a great job.
Certainly in the case there, and definitely deserving of that, but nevertheless here as well. Cody, just come away with the second place today here. Congratulations on that, and we will see you next time on out here, buddy.
Thank y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Grubb from the 03 coming away here as the second place finisher today. But out of all this here tonight, the man that will come out on top, it is the Rattlesnake Robert Kahn tonight here. Robert Kahn, congratulations on that race win today here, and you know, talk about having to be kind of thrown to the wire and thrown to the wolves there on the first part, but the second half he came back alive, came to Griffin, and then he unfortunately runs out of fuel and is mentioned with the lap traffic. What was your thoughts on how that was dealing with you?
Oh man, that was I didn't think I had enough fuel. I was coming out of 2 and I had a half a lap of fuel left, so I kind of clutched it going down into 3. And usually I'm not on the good side of these when fuel mileage comes into it, but I had 100 feet more fuel, and it kind of just worked out. Just a lucky win. That Cody ran a hell of a race, so congratulations to him on that though too.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a drive, a little bit of a roundabout there, and I know there's a lot of cats out here and a lot of folks that are probably expecting nothing but the toughest and the biggest conditions here to be put into for this track and this group, but you know, I mean, at the end of the day, for you and this crew, I mean, this is the second win of the season. Could have been the third after last week, but I mean, with the second win, what does this kind of mean for you and this crew and this team that you're looking out for it on the long runs?
Well, it kind of means a lot because traditionally long runs haven't been my strongest point, and the last a couple months I've been working on long run speed versus just going out of the gate. So to get one in a long run like this one and the one in Texas, that was it's kind of cool to see that work pay off that you try to learn stuff with.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, here our race win today here at Chicagoland Speedway. What will it be today to thank for the fans?
I appreciate everyone who tunes in. Definitely appreciate PTM TV. You know, you guys are one of the best. I appreciate you broadcasting and everyone who's involved with it. It's a pretty cool league to be in.
Certainly indeed. Well, nevertheless, though, big win for you and the crew here. Congratulations on that, Con, and we'll catch you next time out here, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good night.
You too. Ladies and gentlemen, your race winner today, the Rattlesnake, Robert Kahn, popping away with another victory here to close out our night. Well, race fans, that's all we're going to do it for your Fort Worth Screen Printing Pit Stall Summer Series here with the trucks in action in Chicagoland. Next week, though, we're off to the Tricky Triangle. If you saw what happened Tuesday night, get ready for some more of that and some even crazier times. If you thought the fuel strategy was tough here, imagine what it's going to be at Pocono. But for now, race fans, we will catch you guys next time on the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys when the green flag flies.